The Varaha Upanishad, presented by Svayam Prakash Sharma, Part 6. Part 6, which is the penultimate part, consists of verses 1 to 36 of chapter 5, the last chapter of the Upanishad, in which the great sage Ribhu tells Nigadha about the rules to be observed during the practice of yoga. The Upanishad. Then Nigadha requested Ribhu to enlighten him as to the rules to be observed in the practice of yoga. Agreeing to do so, this is what Ribhu told Nigadha. He said, "Dear Nigadha, the body is composed of the 5 elements. It is filled with 5 mandals or spheres. The sphere that is hard, that is Prithvi or earth. The sphere that is liquid, that is up or water. The sphere that is bright, that is Tej or fire. The sphere that has the property of motion, that is Vayu or air. The sphere that pervades everywhere, that is Akash or space. Any person who aspires to yoga should know these very well. Through the blowing of the sphere of air in the body, there are caused 24,600 breaths every day and night. Now I will tell you what happens when there is a decrease in any of the spheres of the elements in the body. If there is a decrease of the Prithvi Mandal or the earth sphere in the body, then folds arise in the body. If there is a decrease of the liquid or the water sphere or essence of water in the body, then the hair gradually becomes grey. If there is decrease in the essence of Tej or fire in the body, then there is loss of hunger and luster. If there is decrease in the essence of Vayu or air in the body, then there is constant tremor. Then the body shakes constantly. And if there is decrease in the essence of Akash or space in the body, then a person dies. The Jivita or the Pran, which possesses these elements, then that Jivita or that Pran, having no place to rest in the body, owing to the decrease in the elements, rises up like birds flying in the air. It is for this reason that it is called Udyan, which literally means flying up. With reference to this, there is said to be a bandh, which is a binding posture, which is a binding asan, called the Udyan bandh, by which this flight can be arrested. This Udyan bandh is to death as a lion is to an elephant, meaning that this Udyan bandh disposes of death just as a lion disposes of an elephant. The experience of the Udyan bandh is in the body. Its binding in the body is hurtful. Therefore, if there is agitation of Agni or fire within the belly, then much pain will be caused. Therefore, this Udyan bandh should not be practiced by a person when he is hungry or when he has the urgency to pass water or to defecate. A person should take moderate food, eating small quantities many times. He should practice the 3 yogas, Mantra Yoga, Lay Yoga and Hatha Yoga. First, through mild periods of time, then he should practice them through increased middling periods of time, and finally he should practice them through long transcendental periods of time respectively. All the three yogas, Mantra Yoga, Lay Yoga and Hatha Yoga, all three have the same 8 subservients or the same 8 components. The 8 subservients or components of all these 3 yogas are Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Now I will briefly tell you about each of these. Yam is of 10 kinds, which are non-injury, truth, non-coveting, continence, compassion, straightforwardness, patience, courage, moderate eating, and purity of the body and the mind. Niyam is also of 10 kinds, which are tap or religious austerities, contentment, belief in the existence of God or the Vedas, charity, worship of Ishwar or God, listening to the expositions of religious doctrines, modesty, a good intellect, jap or reciting prayers, and vrat or religious observances. There are 11 postures or asanas as enumerated by the knowers of yoga, and these are Chakrasan, Padmasan, Kurmasan, Mayur Asan, Kukut Asan, Veer Asan, Swastik Asan, Bhadrasan, Muktasan and Gomukhasan. Placing the left ankle on the right thigh and the right ankle on the left thigh while sitting and keeping the body erect is called the Chakrasana. Now pranayam should be practiced again and again in the following order. First, breathing in, then restraining the breathed in air, then breathing out. Since pranayam is done through the nadis or the nerves, therefore it is called nadis themselves. The body of every sentient being, the body of every being capable of sensation or of every being responsive to stimulus is 96 digits long. In the middle of this body, 2 digits above the anus and 2 digits below the sexual organ is the center of the body called the Mooladhara or the sacral plexus. 9 digits above the genitals there is the egg-shaped kanda of nadis, 4 digits high and 4 digits broad, which revolves. This kanda is surrounded by fat, by flesh, by bone and by blood. In it is situated a nadi chakra or a wheel of nadis having 12 spokes. The kundali by which this body is supported is located here. The kundali covers the Brahmarandra, which is Brahma's opening in the Sushumna Nadi by its face. By the side of Sushumna Nadi dwell the 2 nadis Alambusha and Kuhu. In the next 2 spokes are the 2 nadis Varun and Yashaswini. On the spokes south of Sushumna in the normal course is the Nadi Pingala. On the next 2 spokes are the 2 nadis Pusha and Payaswini. On the spoke west of Sushumna is the Nadi called Saraswati. On the next 2 spokes are the 2 nadis Sankhini and Gandhari. To the north of Sushumna dwells the Nadi Ida. In the next is the Nadi Hastajiva, and next to it is the Nadi Vishvodhar. In these 12 spokes of the wheels, the 12 nadis carry the 10 vayus from left to right to the different parts of the body. These nadis are woven like cloth, warp and woof, and are said to have different colors. The central portion of this cloth-like weave of the collection of nadis is called the Nabhi Chakra, or the navel plexus. The 4 nadis, Jwalanti, Nad Rupini, Parandhar and Sushumna, are called the basic supports of the spiritual sound Nad. These 4 nadis are of ruby color. The central portion of Brahmarandra, the opening leading to Brahma, is covered again and again by Kundali. Thus, the 10 vayus move in these nadis. A wise man who understands the course of the nadis and the vayus should, after keeping his neck and body erect, with his mouth closed, contemplate immovably on the Turyak, contemplate immovably on the Atma, at the tip of his nose, in the center of his heart, and in the middle of the Bindu. Doing so, he should see with a tranquil mind, through the eyes of the mind, the nectar that flows from there. He should close the anus and draw up the vayu and cause it to rise through the repetition of the pranav Om. Doing so, he should complete with Shri Bij. He should contemplate on his Atma as Shri or Parashakti and as being bathed in nectar. This is the Kal Vachan. Literally, this is the illusion of time. It is said to be the most important of all. Whatever is thought by the mind, the same is accomplished by the mind itself. Then Agni of fire will flame in water, and in the flame of Agni will arise branches and blossoms. Then the words uttered and the actions done regarding the universe are not in vain. Yes, then the words uttered and the actions done regarding the universe are not in vain. This concludes the 6th and penultimate part of the Varaha Upanishad. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.